Willie Kinyash, and today we are looking at why test drive is not the answer. And I need to say at this point that the moment you drag yourself into the so-called trial sex or the test drive, you are killing yourself. Why? Because the issue of trust and respect goes dry and goes down. And you start seeing this person on the other way, on the other side, the way you didn't used to see him or her. How are you, sir?
Yeah, good. And this conversation came up when we brought up a case where the lady said she married when she was a virgin. This was her first man. But when they went for honeymoon, it turned out that his size was a little bit too big. And she got injured. So she's writing from the hospital, recuperating after the man inflicted injuries. And of course, the proponents of test driving now found a case to ride on and say, we said it, always drive fast.
Yeah.
You know? They jumped up, say, you see now, yeah, well, you can't, don't be blind, check. You know? And it's true, there are cases that happen that, and you find that there may be problems, but I asked them 3 questions that they could not answer to me. I asked them, did he injure her because of his body size or his insensitivity? By the time you injure a person that much until they need hospitalization, you could see you are hurting them. You could hear them. What really hurt that lady? Is it the body or this man's selfishness and insensitivity? Question number 2. When you say, let's check, you know, sometimes it can be too big or too small, incompatible here and there. Are you aware that sometimes those things happen and we have medical or other ways have been developed? People can be trained on skills and how to operate what they have. I think God did not leave this area open for just guesswork.
Yeah. When
you study, you find that for women, the most sensitive parts of their body is just inches, 3 inches deep. It's not. And for men as well, if they learn to handle what they have, they can both derive satisfaction without force. I asked them, do you think people stay married because they have the perfect body sizes? It's learning, it's skill.
Yes.
And there are people who, that's not their natural shape. They took things. Some people take enhancements because of insecurities.
Yeah.
To change this or the other one. And I was asking, when you are marrying a person, are you marrying the body? They live in a body, they have a body and they need hands to work, they need this. Of course, she needs to look beautiful for me to like, he needs to look handsome enough for me to like. There's that part of physicality. But who are you taking home? What should we, because when they say check, they're emphasizing the body as if that's the thing we are marrying. And the topic today will focus on what really are we getting into and what is a safe way then, if this is an important area. Really be careful because we have shifted relationships to move away, to come and focus on performance. And many people, I've seen men arriving at at the scene of a woman, and in order to impress her, he performs and outperforms himself without knowing that what you're showing her now is a promise. This is what I'll be doing. Many girls fall in love with the way you spoil them, with the way you perform, with the way you outdo everybody who was around, with the way you blow her off her feet, with the way you solve her problems magically, with the way you lift her moods, with the way you're praising her always, with the way you're always at beck and call, with the way you're always at there. Men show up and perform and outperform. over promise,
Yeah.
over deliver,
Uh-huh.
lie. Your behavior, you can be a truthful guy, but your behavior is a lie. You don't always lie with your mouth. See, you can behave in certain way
Yeah.
to communicate something that is not true.
Yes.
This is what you are getting. Is it? If you marry me, this is what you are getting. Is it? Can you sustain that? Really, sometimes we overperform because of ignorance and insecurity. As men, that is the brevity of our problems. In dating, men are ignorant.
Yeah.
That sometimes even a girl who was not interested in you can fall in love with the whole thing you work up when you show up. Sending money, sending airtime, calling money, buying the others, paying, sorting her bills, sorting her family problems, and men talking her brother out of those problems. And whenever she mentions something, you jump there, you jump there, you jump, you jump, you jump.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, who is this doing everything I want?
Mm-hmm.
Who is this attending to every problem I even insinuate?
Yeah.
You know, who is this who can't rest until I'm sorted? And men, we have been mistaken to thinking it's when you perform and do so, you show up, this girl you outdo yourself, you drop your life, you go the way, and surely, if that is what it means to be with you, then she signs up for that.
Yeah.
Not for you.
It's not the person.
It's a performance.
Wow. Wow. And that is dangerous. Because the moment you stop performing,
You are violating the contract. She
Yes.
stops loving. You earned this love by this degree of performance. To sustain it, you must continue performing on that level.
and maybe I was performing so that I can win you.
Exactly.
Wow. I see.
And men, we set ourselves up. It's because we fear rejection. We are not confident that we can find the right woman by behaving the right way. Or it's because we are ignorant as to what does it mean to woo a woman versus to lie and overpromise and set ourselves up and overkill, overdo. Start something you cannot sustain. You know, I saw a very interesting scripture, you know, a passage that you need to sit with it for long because it goes against your culture. It goes against what you're being told. To work harder, to do more, to again. Because it says, in returning and rest shall you be saved. In quietness and confidence shall be your strength. We don't associate strength with quietness and confidence. We associate it with force.
Yeah.
Do it.
The violence, take it by force.
And you show up there as a man, outperforming the other guy.
Yes.
You know, sometimes even dethrone the guy who was around.
You're trying to say I'm that guy.
Quietness and confidence. You should not win a woman by performing. You should win her by your personality.
Wow. Personality.
Your presence. That one is steady. That is you. That is sustainable. That's not exhausting. That's true. So what is the difference? What does it translate to? It translates to showing up at the scene, and once you start talking to her and you want to win her to marry her, you let who you are being by that magical twin of quietness and confidence. Does not mean you're not talking. You present your agenda, but you're not overdoing.
Yeah.
You're not anxious. You're not overreaching. You are not at the edge of your seat. And what will she say next? Is she thinking about me? Has she texted back? Is she picking the call? What does she think of me? Quietness and confidence. In fact, that approach gets you rejected more.
Yeah.
Because when many women are materialistic, although you don't hear it said.
But they are.
Many are trying to trade their body, their beauty for easy life.
Now, could this be the reason why now men are trying now to show this performance?
Yes. Ignorance, lack of knowledge.
Mm.
That many women you will fall in love with are not what you need. Why are we not told that? That you can fall in love with a person and they also fall in love with you, but they are not what you need. You see, we have been marrying because I love her and she loves
me.
So we are getting married. What is it about you loving her and her loving you says that she has the character for the woman you need? And you hear people swearing by love every day. A guy was saying, I love her so much, I can't help, after describing a very unstable woman who is pushing with married men, inconsistent, non-committal, got a kid too early, didn't change her life. Mm-hmm. But ends by saying, I love her very much. Sometimes the woman you love may also be decent, on the surface decent. But let me tell you, Willie, the women who are looking for a guy to make their life easy, carry their weight, pay their bills, give them money every time, there are so many. It's worrying. But nobody is pointing at that fact. So many women are working and they don't bring their money home. It's you to give them money.
Mm.
Both of you are working, but you carry the whole family and give her pocket
money.
Pay salon, paid, and she's working. Mm-hmm. Because that's the agenda you presented. That's what you promised. When you showed up, you paid everything and made her think she's your queen, what you want to worship, and she should just come and worship her the rest of your life.
So I married her, but her money is not married.
Because you promised, yes. You did not bring the personality that is real and balanced. You did not have discussions about life and what you anticipate marriage to look like. You are not focusing on being true, being grounded, putting this relationship in a place where it can sit on solid ground, and being ready to let go in case you are not rhyming. Many men don't give the room to lose. Once they fall in love, they want to win and
yeah.
There's no such thing like quietness and confidence in returning and rest. We come with force. That is why men, sometimes we set ourselves up. Sometimes when a woman who did not have an idea of marriage, you present such a convincing proposal of the life you're inviting her to, that it is impossible to reject. You can overwhelm a person who did not have marriage in mind, who would not have married you otherwise. That's why women are going to sponsors men with money, because they're looking for the money, for somebody to perform, for somebody to live to their life for them, for somebody to pay bills for them, for somebody to just spoil them, for somebody to lavish, for somebody to pamper, for somebody to, it's selfish materialistic pursuit, for somebody to perform in my life too. You know somebody is materialistic, they're looking for performance when they don't care about your needs.
They don't care about my needs.
No. Her meeting your needs is incidental.
Eish. And what are we doing together?
You see, you are worshipping her, my queen. Many men have made their women their idols. There's a danger of making somebody your idol. You're setting them against the true God, because they are representing the God in your life. And you raise me up so I can. Should that kind of admiration and appreciation be given to a human being or to a deity? You raise me up so I can stand on mountain. I am strong while I'm on your shoulders. Is that admiration or worship?
Worship. So we are worshiping these people.
You raise me up so I can stand on mountain. I'm strong when I'm on your shoulders. You raise me up to make me more than I can be. Is that human abilities?
You're worshiping this person. Help us.
Even your local musicians here, hata malaika wanapiga mabawa, we ndio mama yao. Angels are flapping you are their Is that human attributes? There's a difference between being poetic, and I'm not against us poetically praising our women and exaggerating here and there, but you must remember the demarcation.
You must draw lines.
What is human and what is deity? I realize many of these women, they don't bring their money to the marriage because we made it look like you don't need to. I will do it.
I'm a man enough.
So you signed a very bad deal. You over-marketed. You made an overkill. Over time you get exhausted. Test driving comes from the concept of performing. Let me see how well you can perform.
And now my question is, if she performs poorly, what happens? Are you going to leave her, then go for another one?
And I want to give you several reasons why that is one of the problems, obstacles we don't want to think about. Because sex is very emotional. Whenever it is mentioned, people get emotionally excited and they start arguing to do it, to look for building cases how they can get to do it, just for the feeling, the excitement of having to really see a person's nakedness, experience their nectar, you know, and their gut, their specialness, anything. One, sex is learned. For me to learn how to satisfy you sexually is like learning how to cook for you. Your flavors, your personalities, your preferences. There's no way I can test how well you can cook for me on day one of us meeting. You don't know my tastes. You don't know my preference.
True.
That is the same as testing me on the day we meet on how I can satisfy you, and yet it's supposed to be learned. You're supposed to learn your personality. Isn't that common sense?
Yeah.
The thing that satisfies you in bed and what satisfies you in kitchen and table room is personal to you.
Yes. So I cannot learn in one day.
Thank you. So, if I expect you to have been living celibate, to have been abstaining from these activities, and then suddenly I'm putting you in an exam on the activities you are... Is it sensible?
I'm going to fail terribly.
Is that... I was forbidden from driving all my life. But when I arrive here, you give me a car to test me how well I can drive. Is that real?
No. No.
So,
even grown-ups, after you go to driving school, I mean, you can't learn after you're done with the
just like,
school.
even if they were to use the vehicle imagery, I'll tell them,
Yes.
vehicles have different specificities. Even when they are both same model.
Yeah.
Willie's car will feel very different from mine. Even if they are same model. There are some settings he has put for his own convenience.
Yes.
The kind of wheels he put there, the brake pads he uses, the size of the steering, how far is the seat, how far, where is the braking, where the acceleration, what kind of oil is the guy using.
Yes.
The health, the general of the car, the speed he has been driving. I mean,
Yeah.
even this idea of driving itself tells you what you are insinuating itself doesn't work that way. You take your time even when you buy a new car. You don't run top speeds day one. You don't know this vehicle yet.
Yes.
You are an expert driver, but this machine, I'm new to it.
Yes.
I'm taking time to learn, for it to get into my hand. After you get married, you don't satisfy each other on honeymoon. Sometimes honeymoon sex is not always sweet. It can be painful.
Yeah.
It's new. We are doing a lot of guesswork here. You know, a lot of emotions, and we need to learn how to give each other feedback. We're still afraid. Your ego level, I don't know how much I can correct you.
Yes.
I'm yet to learn.
Yeah.
Honeymoon have been exaggerated. The best experiences don't come on that night. They come a year later, 10 years later. Can we tell them now that we're inside?
Let's do it.
The best experience, the new experiences on that night.
Yes.
But the best experiences, the most satisfying, they can't cook you the best meal day one. They're cooking from how they knew. They're not cooking from how they know you. You know?
Not unless they were pro before.
And pro to who? They're not pro to me. So they might be an expert in their cooking. Many people would learn cooking a lot. As men, sometimes the sex we were taught when growing up was driven by lust. exploration and hunting, objectification of women. It was discussing what body part is big, which body part is the other one. It was discussing which woman is this way, which woman's skin tone is this way. The sex education boys received before they got married is savage, animal-like, instinct-driven, lustful. It's not the real sex of passion and satisfying each other with. Where will you find a man saying, when they are young boys talking about how you should hear what she wants? It's all about what he wants. In fact, the language they use in vernacular is all about asking for the thing. So the body is objectified as
It's a thing. It's an object.
Things don't have needs. You use them to satisfy your needs.
This is sad.
And that's what he is coming with on honeymoon. On that day you're meeting, is that what you expect him to perform from? He's just going to satisfy himself. Then you ride a bike, arrive there and forget it. Listen, my brother, and I was telling them, that concept of men learning how to control themselves, when to score, when to dribble, when to stop, when to pause, when to kick, it's a whole curriculum. It's a whole curriculum. You learn it. In fact, men know, especially when you've been married for a while. Before you get married, these are the things you're calling smashing. I'll tell you later what it does to you. But it's usually very self-centered. And you want to make the woman just feel anything, make her scream. Oh, no. It's not based on build-up and release and satisfaction and mutually connecting deeply. No, it's selfish. It is driven by all the notions of which organ bigger, which one, things we see online, things we see. It's not based on reality. It's not based on knowledge and love. The first problem with test driving is that it's like we are testing your performance before we know each other's personality, preferences, desire, appetites, speed, pace, rhythm, energy. Those are the things that make for. And after you get married, you realize bedroom is only the climax. The true sex was happening out here. It's the romantic gestures. It's the care that builds the tension.
Yeah.
By the time you get there, it's a climax. You can't just go undress and activity. That's physical activity and it's very short-lived and superficial.
Yeah.
When deep is calling unto the deep, it's the laughter we hate. It's where we are coming from. It's how we support. It's the battles we are fighting in life. It's how we are winning. It's how we are planning our lives. It's what are we imagining. It's what is going on between our minds about each other. Test driving can't work because you can't test a person before you have known each other intimately. Your personalities, your preferences, your pace, your speed. And you can, sometimes when you have learned each other as a couple, you are taught that you can use anything to build that energy. Anything to build that, driving on the road, taking meals. It's the playful, romantic, teasing energy between you. It's the singing, it's the playing, it's everything you do together. And by the time you're coming together, the tension, you are ready. And the other activity there has its own process. It does not have to be what people call 2-minute thing or anything. There's a rhythm. The length varies. The way people eat different quantities of food, although there's a recommended amount. The rate at which you do the frequency also is informed by philosophy. Some people's lives are so empty. It's only the bedroom activity that is exciting. So they overdo it every day for so long because that's where they're bringing their energy or their frustrations or whatever. They don't have a life. They don't have a life. That looks like the only life. Again, I'll tell you the second point. We have said you come to marriage, you come to dating, you come to sex with confidence. You don't come with insecurities. It is in quietness and confidence where your strength shall be. We used to think, because this culture is performance oriented, that a powerful person is the loudest, most aggressive. In truth, what God, your manufacturer, is saying is when you are rooted, shall grow roots downwards and bear fruit upward. When roots are going down, they don't announce. You don't even know how long they are. They don't show. Your character doesn't show. Your confidence, the source of your confidence is always invisible. People only see the fruit, but always the plant grows the root first. The root goes down to give anchor, then you come up. The way many people are fleeting around unstable, because they're not rooted. They have nothing to count on. They have no assurance. They have no confidence. Root down your confidence. So this now introduces point 2. How then shall you know whether this person can perform? What is a place of due diligence? What is a place of prudence? How shall I know whether they even have the ability? That is a real need for us in marriage. How shall I know whether you're capable of performing there? Really, you shall study character.
Study
Character of that person, honesty. Check their degree of integrity.
Wow.
Unfortunately, it's the least thing we value.
We are looking at material things, but we forget that which is very important.
Yes.
That is character.
Yes. Really examine the person's consistency with their words. How accountable they are, how they take responsibility for their actions, how they pay attention, how they listen, how they speak true. Because if they are honest about in their workplace, about their friendship, they will be honest about their sexuality.
Wow. Wow.
Check how consistent they are elsewhere in life. Check how they accept their responsibility when they have wronged. Most of these people who say, we are rudely shocked. I went there to realize she can't do this. How much of her character did you study? And many of people, when they see a lady who carries a lot of religious overtones, she has dresses that look very religious, language that is full of Christianese, amen and hallelujahs, they stop there.
Sister and brother.
We have heard these gospel musicians who keep bringing scandals that are very ugly. And I ask people, why are you confusing gospel musician with a Christian? That's a job. They sing for money. That's where they can find buyers.
They're not singing for Jesus.
No, singing for the money. In this country, that music will sell more.
Yeah.
And when they were young, they started their career in church because parents took them there, church took them there. When they grew up, they wanted another lifestyle, but they're already stuck there where the job is.
So they don't have a relationship with this person they are singing to.
Many people, you see all these religious overtones and the clothings, and I want you to stop mistaking religiosity with godliness. Godliness is a character. It beams with the truth.
Wow.
Beams with honesty. Beams with security. A person who is grounded, they just seem quietly assured. And they pay attention, and what they say, they value it. You hear them following up on something they said when you'd forgotten it. Oh, I remember I mentioned we were to meet at 4 p.m. today. Oh, are we still on that? I was wondering that you went, oh, I had forgotten. Oh, sorry, okay. I just wanted to make sure I don't inconvenience. You left wondering. They just mentioned that we can meet on Sunday 4 p.m. Me, I even forgot it. They're following to make sure they don't inconvenience me. And it's not something with superficial interest. We are not meeting for me to give them anything. When you see honesty and consistency in areas of life, the character where it's coming from will also be honest about their sexuality. So the one thing is focus on the character. Integrity. Integral means one. They are not disintegrated. They are integrated. Check honesty. Check truthfulness. Check sincerity. Check humility. If you focus your microscopes there, not on the emotions and the bedroom drama, you'll come up with a lot of rich data. The other part you ask is prudence. You ask the right questions. Some people are ashamed about their private situation in sexuality. They pretend that they're not sure. Others have not even researched, know what is that. Some men may know. It doesn't stand up to the occasion. May be aware. Some women may know they hate that act, but because I've never done it, they can easily hide. Me, I was still a virgin. How could I know? But when they imagine about it, they feel bad. You should know how to bring conversations around that area during your discussions and during premarital counseling. Go to premarital counseling before you go home, before you tell parents, before you announce to the world. Because premarital is also exploration to know whether this person can function, first of all. It's not preparing you for marriage. Can we stop this notion, by the way? Many people go when they've done too much. They're coming here for the last tying of the knots.
So you can't stop anything. I've paid dowry, we have set the dates.
Now you are doing premarital. For what? For what? There's a job a counselor is supposed to do that is critical to know whether you're compatible, first of all. One job of premarital counseling is to test whether this person can function as a wife. Are we together?
Yes.
Some people have disabilities that make sure that makes them unable to run. If they have a disability of the leg, they may not become an athlete. Follow this, okay?
I'm following closely.
If they have a disability of the hands, it means they may not become a boxer.
Yes.
Are you following?
Yes.
We don't blame them because life may have happened, accidents and all that. If they have a disability of speaking, they may not become a news anchor. These things go like that. Other people have disability that makes them unable to become a wife. Is that Greek?
No.
So the counselor helps to examine whether there are disabilities. Okay?
Yeah.
Some women are virgin because they are principled. Others are virgin because they are unable. We used to have a mentorship group. And we came to learn. Those young ones who are always asking about temptations, about the boy, this one texted, the girl, this one. They were more balanced to life than the one who never brought up anything like that. They rebuked. That is lust. You should suppress. There are some who didn't seem. Later came to learn, is this character, self-control? When did you develop it? You're only 18. You came to realize sometimes they masquerade disability. Emotional pain. And disabilities are not always physical. A person may have gone through such trauma that if they don't start digging into it, which may take years, they will never be ready. So some people may not perform because of an underlying problem that needs a lot of psychological corrective surgeries that may take so long, and this person has been avoiding them. Yes.
Thank you so much. And the message is home. And so before you commit, you need to know the character of this person. How is their character? How do they behave when they are out there? You need to know how they are in their private. You know, that during the moment they are all alone, how do they behave? And also, before you commit, you need to know yourself. Because if you don't know yourself, you might come to this other person who knows him or herself, and you find yourself, you are the one who is messing him or her up. So thank you so much for joining me. My name is